Hi everyone, it's Anant. Welcome back. In this series, I'm going to set up a lab for remote desktop services. So the lab environment will have RD Web Access, RD Gateway, RD Connection Broker, and RD Session Host. I'm not going to install RD licensing, but I'll use the default trial license available for remote desktop. A user will have the web interface on RD Web Access, and RD Gateway and Connection Broker will manage the user connection to the host session host server. So what I'm going to do, the action items for this lab, I'll get the lab ready on VMware Player, install Active Directory. I will add another VM and add that to domain. I'm going to install RD Connection Broker, Web Access, and RD Gateway on the same server. I'll create a certificate, so I'll install CA on Active Directory server. Then I'm going to add RD Session Host. I will create security group and few test users. Then on remote desktop services, I'm going to create collection and publish a remote app. And then we are going to test the connection to this remote app. I am on my VMware workstation. Let's start this server. Let me go to full screen mode. Send control alt delete. Let's come to local server. So I'm going to change the computer name before I can promote it to DC. If you don't want to see server manager every time server boots, you can select this option, do not start server manager automatically at login, but I'm not going to do that because I need every time server manager when I log into this server. So I change the computer name. Okay, let's go and install the role. Role based or feature based installation. So I have only one server. Let's check Active Directory domain services, add features. Next, I leave the features checked default. Next, restart the destination server automatically if required. Click on install. Okay, it says configuration required, installation succeeded, and then it says additional steps are required to make this machine a domain controller. What I can do, I can close and I can go to command prompt, admin command prompt and run DC promo, or I can just click on promote this server to a domain controller. This is a new forest. Let me give a name. Okay, I missed the domain dot local. I'll keep the forest and domain functional label to the highest one. I need a DNS server. This will be a global catalog server because this is a first domain controller. This cannot be read-only domain controller because this is a first server, first domain controller. Let's put the DSRM password. We don't need DNS delegation to create now. NetBIOS name looks good. Next. ADDS database, log file, and sysvol location, I leave it default. If it was production server, this will be on a separate drive. Okay, review. Next. So one of the prerequisite check has failed, and it says the local administrator account becomes a low domain controller account when you create the new domain. The new domain cannot be created because the local administrator account password does not meet requirement. And it says the password is blank for local administrator. So we need to assign a password to local administrator user. So let's go to local user. Let's go to computer management, local users and groups, users, administrator. Let's set a password. Okay. Now rerun prerequisites check. All prerequisite checks has passed, so this looks good. Now we can ignore the alert which is in yellow. So let's go and click install. And it also says server automatically reboots at the end of the promotion operation. So let's click on install. Let's go to Active Directory users and computers. So we have our domain ready, apna sysadminpro.local, and we have one domain controller.